Valorant, a tactical shooter from Riot Games that draws heavy inspirations from CSGO. But the thing that distinguishes itself from CSGO is its characters. Similar to Riot's previous game, League of Legends, Valorant has a large cast of characters. These characters, or agents, come from around the world with differing backgrounds, yet this is only one aspect of these characters. There is a brilliance to designing Valorant agents that game developers and gamers should know about. This is the brilliance of Valorant characters. The four categories I want to talk about are Standardization, Distinctiveness, Vision, and Familiarity. But first, I want to discuss the basics of Valorant for those who don't know. Valorant is a 5v5 shooter where the attacker side tries to plant the spike or bomb, and the defender side tries to stop the spike from planting by eliminating all the opponents or defusing the bomb. Now, let's continue the video. Standardization refers to each agent having similar attributes. This idea of similar attributes can be traced back to CSGO. In CSGO, all characters were the same in terms of health, hitbox, money, and speed. The main differences came down to the ability of the player. This holds true for Valorant. However, in games like Overwatch, you have characters like Roadhog and Tracer who have completely different hitbox sizes, speeds, and health. This can present a huge problem for balancing. There are now more variables to look at. It is harder to balance these games compared to Valorant. Valorant only has to look at the abilities of the agent when balancing an agent. Hitboxes also help with designing characters. Valorant agents are all the same size, even when it doesn't make sense. Like you would think that Brimstone, being a big, muscular man, should be bigger than everyone else, but he is not. Despite these discrepancies, Valorant is limited to the same 3D space to create all their characters. They also probably use the same base character model when starting to create a new agent. This limiting space is very similar to how early video games would rely on a 16 by 16 grid to create everything in their game. Even with these restrictions, games like Pac-Man and Super Mario Bros. Were created. The limitations push the developers to make decisions. It is better to start with a blank canvas than to create a canvas. When you look at Valorant agents, you can tell who is who. The agents have their own distinct colors, silhouette, and personalities just from a glance. This is especially important when in-game. There are three agents who are primarily blue: Omen, Euro, and Neon. I'm going to show you a short clip, and I want you to tell me who the agent is. Are you ready? Now, who was it? If you said Neon, you are correct. This is crucial information that could win you the round. If you know who is pushing or defending a site, you can anticipate what abilities you will have to face. This is very impressive since all characters have a similar structure to convey personality. In Overwatch, Roadhog is a roundish character that we automatically associate with gluttony. And yes, I do like Roadhog, if you could not tell. Distinctiveness is also useful for marketing and the community. It helps to create an identity for the agent that players can relate to. Riot creates new agents for specific people. When Riot created Reyna, they made her for people that wanted to get kills and top frag for the team. This is the vision for the characters. Valorant has stated that it can take 10 to 15 months to develop a new agent. The first thing they do is they look for opportunity spaces within the game. For instance, when designing Neon, they thought about what if a character could sprint. The agent that inspired this video, Gecko, also probably had a similar thought process. What if an agent could plan without being on the site? From there, they had character designers sketch out some ideas and eventually get to the character that we all know today. The beauty of all this is they can spend most of their time designing the agent. Balancing does take up a huge chunk of the time, but compared to games like Overwatch, where they have to worry about health, size, and even more factors, Valorant can spend more time on what the agent does, what the agent looks like, and the story of the agent. When you have a roster of 21 characters, as of this video, some things may be shared. This is often determined by what class the agent is. There are 4 classes: Duelist, Initiator, Controller, and Sentinel. An example of the similarities is Omen, Brimstone, and Astra smokes are all very similar. This may seem like laziness, but I consider it a smart game design. When looking at Gecko, his ultimate, Thrash, is similar to Sky's Trailblazer ability. I bet the code was even reused when creating the ultimate. This is the conundrum that game designers must face. They need to find a balance between familiarity and originality. I believe Valorant does a good job at this, especially with Gecko. He has a flash and a molly, but they are different enough from others in the game that it feels original while being similar. Valorant has been called a CSGO with abilities, but it is much more than that. It is a global esport that values the community and the characters it creates. The character creation process should be an example for any game developer to follow. It isn't perfect though. There are some problems with the way it creates and handles the characters, but I will say that the Valorant characters are brilliant. Thank you so much for watching.